What's going on YouTube? This is BeamCool247 and this is my Draw 2 Summon 2 deck profile for Weevil Underwood. Going with the Insect Queen build. I'm not trying to do the Ultimate Great Moth maneuver because that thing is really hard to get out, and the only way you can really get him out is to ignore its summoning conditions through one of those hand traps, but there's too much complexity to that strategy, so I'd rather stick with this one that I'm about to show you. So first off, we're going to run one Insect Queen. So this card cannot declare an attack unless you tribute a monster, so the key is to always have a lot of monsters out in the field, and it gains 200 attack for each insect monster on the field, including itself. You can use cards like DNA Surgery or Parasite to have other insects on the field, or other monster cards like your opponent's face up on the field be insects as well to give it more, but coming on the field, this will be 2400 attack at least. During the end phase, if it destroyed an opponent's monster by battle this turn, you can special summon an insect monster token in attack position. Terrible, very terrible. Metamorphosis Insect Queen, the newer, better version of Insect Queen, can only be special summoned by a card effect. So you're going to want to use this in conjunction with, let's see here, we're going to have this pinch hopper there. We're going to run two of those pinch hoppers, which will allow you to get this out, and then potentially maybe using some kind of monster reborn technique to get them out as well. But anyways, must be special summoned by a card effect. And if another insect is on the field, your opponent cannot target insect monsters you can control with card effects. Also, they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effect. That is a very good defensive effect to have. So it's kind of like an insect barrier in a sense, and built into it, but for card effects. And then at the end of the damage step, if this card attacked, you contribute one monster and it can attack an opponent's monster again in a row. And then during the end phase, you can special summon an insect monster token. It didn't specify attack or defense, so you could probably bring it out of defense. So that's a much better version of its predecessor. We're running two Insect Princess, Beater of level 6, 1900 attack, and with some cards like DNA Surgery, making your opponent's weaker monsters go to attack mode as well, if they are insect. And then if this destroys an opponent's monster per battle, it gains 500 attack. So if this card and DNA Surgery is out in the field, your opponent's going to want to get rid of it sooner rather than later, because it'll start becoming beefy very quickly. So we're running two of those. Two Empress Mantis, a normal vanilla one that I got from Speed Duels here. 2200 attack, nothing crazy about that. Level 6, so 1 tribute. Here's, I'm going to plop some vanillas for us here. Killer Needle, Flying Kamikari 2, Petite Moth, First Edition MRD, First Edition Basic Insect LOV, the best level 4 insect we have at 1900 attack. And then big insect, Kumu Toko, probably a defense guy, and then those are it for our vanillas there. So let me lay that out a little bit there for us. Next, we're going to dive into two pinch hoppers to help special summon a Metamorphosis Queen, or maybe even an Insect Queen, but two of those. So you have to control it, so it has to be on the field and then be sent to the graveyard. It can't be from the hand or to the graveyard, but it allows you to special summon a insect monster from your hand. Then we have two Cocoon of Evolution, good beefy defense. No, we're not using it for its effect. Parasite, so this one burns 1,000 once it goes into the opponent's deck and they draw into it. And since this is a draw 2 format, they'll probably get into it sooner rather than later. And it makes their guys insect while it's on the field. So a good temporary insect burn. They're going to want to have to tribute that away to summon a monster to get rid of it, probably. Or you can just attack into it and gain some attack points with Insect Princess. Man-Eater Bug for card removal. Leghorn works well for attacking directly with like the insect laser cannon, so that'll give it 700 attack, so 1000 attack direct. Insect Soldiers of the Sky, 4-starred Ladybug of Doom, good for level 4 destroying. Blade Fly for boosting wind and decreasing earth attack, by the way. Flying Kamakari number 1, only running one of. I don't want to be searching too much. It'll take too much time between duels, but it can essentially search these 3 right here, and then we have wind, and that's about it. I don't think that guy's a wind. Yeah, and then they're too strong over there. But so we can search about 4 or 5 different wind monsters there. We got our 4 staples here, 2 spell and trap removals, or a spell, and this is a spell and trap removal. That's standard in every deck, and then a monster reborn and pot of greed. No graceful charity, because that will take a little too long for people to decide there. Insect armor with lasering cannon, 3 of. It's one of the better spells that insects have. Insect barrier. I'm only running 1 of this. I don't want it to be too much of a stall deck. So you have the opponent has a chance to get rid of it with a D-spell or MST, but works very well with DNA surgery because they just can't attack. Eradicating Aerosol. Destroy all face-up insects on the field. Works well with DNA surgery for your opponent's monsters. Hopefully you don't have any monsters while you're playing that. Forest, just a field spell to boost insects, beasts, plants, and beast warriors. Worm bait, so if you control an insect, you can special summon 2 worm tokens, but you can't normal summon or special summon any level 3 or 4 monsters the turn you activate this card, so you can potentially set level 3 or 4 the turn you activate this card, but you must control an insect barrier. So not the best conditions to use it, but at least it's 2 bonus monsters to the field for you in case you're trying to use it for something. Insect neglect. When your opponent's monster declares an attack, you can remove from play 1 insect monster from your graveyard to negate that attack. So this is very good for long stalling, and they might want to use an MST or a D-spell on this. This can be just like an insect barrier for stall. Corrosive Scales. So essentially target your biggest insect monster in the field, and then they can't attack anyone but that monster. And every time your opponent normal or special summons a monster or activates a card effect, you can place a scale counter on their face-up monsters. Every time each scale counter they have, they lose 100 in attack and defense for that. So very good, annoying equip card that they want to get rid of as well, because it's going to slowly drain away your opponent's monsters. Spider egg. So when your opponent declares a direct attack, not just any attack, it has to be a direct attack. While you have 3 or more insects in your grave, you can negate that attack, and if you do, you can special summon up to 3 spider tokens not up to. You have to special summon 3 spider tokens in attack position. So maybe good to tribute those off later. And then finally, we have 2 DNA surgeries, which makes you can make it whatever you want, but it's gonna be 99.9% of the time insects for every face-up monster on the field, which works. This is like the core card of the set because it works well with the Insect Princess. It works well with Insect Queen. It works well with Insect Barrier. It works well with Eradicating Aerosol. So yeah, just a lot of good cards, or a lot of synchronization that it does with the rest of the cards there. So that's my Weevil Underwood deck profile for the Draw 2 Summon 2 series. Let me know what you guys would put in your insect decks. I know I'm missing some insect cards in here, but I got to make this deck work the way it works. I included the ones I wanted to for their overall theme. So yeah, let me know what you would add or subtract from this. And yeah, hope you guys like it. Hope you guys have fun playing this format. It's really fun for myself personally. So thanks for watching.